Here's a fun fact about Grand Central that I bet you didn't know. This is actually the third Grand Central on the same site. And actually, each one of these Grand Centrals had a slightly different name from one another. Now, back in the early 1800s, during the advent of train travel, you could actually take steam trains on the Harlem Railway all the way down to 14th Street. Now, eventually the city would start to push the boundary of where they would allow steam engines because obviously they belch a lot of smoke. That would be moved up to 26th Street, which is where the terminal for the Harlem and New Haven Railway was. In the 1850s, though, the city would then push that border even further up to 42nd Street, where basically there was little to no development going on. Now, incidentally, the old terminal on 26th Street would be purchased and turned into the first of 4 Madison Square Gardens. I have no idea what it is with MSG when it comes to train stations. They seem to have a thing for it. Anyway, 42nd Street, like I said, is in the middle of nowhere, but Cornelius Vanderbilt, who had just started purchasing controlling interest in these different railways, decided that he wanted to build the largest train station in the country, and ends up building this. This was Grand Central Depot, and this would be the first place where the Harlem, New Haven, and Hudson railways could all terminate in the same location. This was also one of the first train stations in the United States to have a glass train shed, similar to what you might find in something like Paddington in London. In fact, this train station was designed to rival any of the train stations that you might see in Europe. Now, by the 1890s, though, demand had increased so much that they had to expand the depot. And that's when we get this. And this was actually known as Grand Central Station. Now, Grand Central Station did have an issue, which was we still had steam locomotives coming in and out of New York City. Part of that involved going through something known as the Park Avenue Tunnel. Now, the Park Avenue Tunnel in 1902 would witness one of the worst ever train disasters in American history. Because of all the smoke in this tunnel, an express train coming into the station missed a signal and ended up colliding with a local commuter train. Over 15 people were killed, another 30 people were injured. And this really spurred the electrification of all of these railways. In conjunction with electrification, we saw a third and final redesign of the terminal. The railways hired 2 different firms, Reed and Stem, who were experienced railway designers, and Warren and Wetmore to design the exterior of the terminal. Because of the electrification, they were able to go deeper and build 2 different levels of track. Grand Central Terminal, as this one is known as, is the largest train station in the world by track number. There's over 40 different tracks on 2 different levels. Initially, express trains would be on the top level, with local trains going on the bottom level. The current Grand Central Terminal opened up on February 2nd, 1913. Today, if you refer to Grand Central Station, what you're actually referring to is either the subway station below it or the post office behind it. So take that and use it for your next trivia night.